Hello friends, welcome to Squared Plans. I'm Stephanie and today we're going to be setting up our health planners for the first week in March. And I've got these stat stickers that I made here ready to go, as well as these sticker books which I'll pull from. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down some wax paper so I can kind of plan things out. This spread idea I got over on Instagram and thought it would be really fun to bring this idea kind of back into the forefront and see if I can make it work here on my health planner. So I'm going to start off by adding some boxes here from the wellness sticker book. And I'm going to cut off the headers of them because the headers were not quite right for what I wanted to use the boxes for. I'll be tracking my workouts in the boxes, so I've put the 4 bigger ones on the days where I may do 2 workouts. That way I'll have room to write in the workout and the time and the calories I burn each of those days, whether I do 1 or 2. And then the days where I'm pretty sure I'll only do 1, I'll do a smaller box, and that'll add a little variation to the spread and make things look a little bit more interesting with the varying heights of the boxes and what have you. So for the smaller boxes, I actually cut those out of some double boxed box stickers and just use that one side of it since I wasn't finding anything else that I really liked for boxes in about that size. And I'm just flipping through the book now, trying to find stickers that I think will work, maybe for my rest day, which is on Saturday, to help fill that empty spot. And as I was going through, I found a box sticker that I thought I might use on the sidebar, but decided against it. It's getting a little too boxy, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll try these arrows instead and use the lines instead of adding in the boxes. I also thought I might use the habit trackers that are in this book, but I have such a hard time adding in these rounded habit trackers into the sidebar. They just never look right. So I tried it out, but I really just wasn't liking how that looked. So I think what we'll do is use a box sticker and then layer in some habit trackers that I made myself on my computer and just kind of use that as the habit trackers a little bit later. So I'm in the happy quote sticker book now, and I'm just looking to see if I find another sticker, like I said, for that rest day. And I think this one might work. It's a little bit bright in the teal color, but I think it matches enough to work here on the spread. So I will kind of work that in, I think. I'm going to trim it off a little though, so it's not quite as big. That gives a little bit of variation in height, as you can see, between the boxes next to it. And here is a habit tracker from my stash that I created, and I'll maybe layer it, like I said, with a box sticker. Need to figure out how best to make this work. And I'm going to reuse one side of that double box sticker that I cut off earlier. And that works out pretty well. We'll see if I can get this other piece of the sticker to work, or maybe something else to kind of close off the top of the box there. And I'm just looking through everything that I have, not really finding anything that will work. I thought, well, might as well just use the header from the other one, and that should actually close things off really nice because the colors are very similar, and write it down works because that's my habits for the week. I also saw these bullets that I thought I might pull in, but the color is a little bit too limited. There's no teal tones in those, so I don't think it will work the way that I was envisioning it to kind of carry through that color scheme. I also saw these little flags that I thought would be really cute. And I don't know if you can tell what's going on yet, but I'm going to create a clothesline style of a spread here. So you can kind of see it draping across the top in the top boxes. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking, more of like a clothesline look. And I thought that the little flags would be cute, kind of like a banner. But yeah, again, I wasn't really loving the placement options that I had available. And now I'm cutting up a quote to use here in the sidebar just for a little bit of inspiration, and again to reinforce the kind of watercolor pastel tones in the color scheme, keep that going all over the spread. I think I'll start bringing over the clothespins so you really get the idea of the laundry line, if you will. And I don't have too many colors that are a good match here, but I'll use the blue and the orange. Those were the closest colors I saw here on the spread with those clothespins, and I think that'll work okay. I'll just alternate the colors back and forth just so it's a little bit of variety, and hopefully tie things together that way. And I thought that maybe if I brought in these little flags at the bottom, that would help tie in the clothespins a little better. But honestly, the colors of the flags are just a little too bold compared to the pastel tones of the boxes. I kind of get away with it because the clothespins are line art, so it's really faint, the boldness of the color, but those solid flags really draw your attention to the color variation. So I just didn't feel like that was going to work. So now I'm thinking maybe I'll go into my washi and see if I can find a washi that will work and give some color down here at the bottom. Just trying some different ones I have in my stash. These last two, the thicker washis, are actually from Daiso. I just picked those up. They're pretty cool. But I think I'll stick with this more in the color scheme washi that I got from the Happy Planner in their Homebody collection of washis that came out a few years ago. So I just need something to finish off the sidebar, and since I've already used most of the boxes with this blue tone, I'll just go ahead and cut off the edges and maybe just build out a little area for my weekly goals using those leftover strips. And I think I'm almost ready to move things over. I'm going to go ahead and white out the headers of these two boxes since they don't really apply, and get those moved over. Now I'm going to pencil in the line for the clothesline, if you will. I was going to do it below, like right where the boxes are, but I think it'll look a little bit better if I do it above, where it's kind of at the apex of the clothespin, and then the clothespin kind of has a little bit of a gap, and then you have the boxes. I think that'll look a little more realistic as far as something hanging on the clothesline, but we'll see. We'll see how that looks. And I'll just pencil in the line for now. Since I kind of know where that's going to be, it gives me the opportunity to white out the main dividing lines between these two boxes so I can combine them together. And I use a white, just a basic white gel pen from Sakura, the Jelly Roll, for whiting out of fine lines. It's a really cool little trick if you're new to planning. Just any white opaque ink will work great for whiting out in small areas. And I'll erase out my pencil lines and close up the boxes so it looks like one big box. Clean up some of the areas that I didn't get quite with the pen the first time because I needed that little extra space for drawing in the line. And we'll close up those boxes as well. kind of wish I would have done a thicker clothesline when I had finished this spread. I think it would have looked a little bit better, or even like did almost like a rope design with a line to give it a little more dimension. But the basic one works just fine, I guess. And now I'll start moving things over into the sidebar. And we will start laying in the boxes for the clothesline. I'm going to start in the center and work my way out just so that I can know the right angles, since it looks like I did the line a little bit more angled up than I needed to. So there's going to be a lot of kind of overlap into the sidebar on this side and into the edge of the page on the opposite side. I think the idea is really great. You know, it can be done in a number of ways. Here I'm doing it with actual functional boxes, but you could totally see this with quotes or banners or any kind of idea like that to create some variety and some points of interest on the page. And I just trimmed off that excess that overlapped the edge. And we'll now lay in the washi again, just for some color down here at the bottom. And I'll put my stat stickers on the top in that little smaller box, and then on the bottom is where I'll track my food and my total calories each day. Now I had laid this in and thought that I might be able to cut them in half there on the sheet and then move it over, but this washi tape stuck down pretty good, so I had to kind of abandon that idea and just go forward with the thicker washi strips. I could have done some pre-planning and, you know, pre-cut the strips if I really wanted to, but I kind of like the bigger strips too. It's just, it takes up a little more room, and I just don't know how much room I'll need in my food log area in particular. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes throughout the week. I also feel like I need a little bit more of that orange peach tone that's in some of the boxes. So I was trying to see if I could bring in some washi to make that work, but just decided overall just to let it be and focus more on the cooler tones. And I just pre-cut the stat stickers to make it a little bit easier to move those over. And we'll layer them on top of the washi, again, to give me a little bit more room there to actually write in my stats instead of trying to line it up on the edge. And I kind of like that overlapped look anyway. I think that looks pretty good. I've got those all in, and the last thing I think I want to do is just kind of create a uniform look to the boxes by adding in those little black dot textures on all the boxes there. And once I am done with that, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Bye!